And we are live on the United Public Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM New Orleans and 105.3 FM on the Gulf Coast. How cool is that? To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is Father Shawn's Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Abbot Father Shawn Whittington. I'm an ordained Catholic priest with the United States Old Catholic Church. I'm the abbot for the Old Catholic Benedictines of Immaculate Mary, a team member with Society of St. Benedict, and co-founder of GhostBegone.biz. And yes, I'm that guy on Eli Roth Presents the Legion of Exorcists on Travel Channel, which is currently streaming everywhere if you haven't caught that yet. If there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. If you go there to visit, there's a lot of cool things to see. Both my books are there. Today I'm embarrassed talking about my two books with my guest having written countless of best-selling books. We'll get to that in a second. But I got both my books are there, and if you buy them off the website, they come a little less expensive at Amazon, and they're also available in audio version. But if you purchase them off the website, they leave my office here. I autograph them. I send them to you in a beautiful house blessing kit, and you never know when those are going to come in handy. But buying them off of the website, part of the proceeds of every sale of every copy of my books goes to support stjude.org and the ASPCA. So how cool is that? You get to help some of the neediest children on the planet and the animals too. My online course is there at the website. You can enroll in that. Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, taught by yours truly. It's a 12-week online college level course for all you true warriors for Christ out there. And trust me, all my students that graduate, and I make sure you do, get a stunning diploma, certificate of completion, suited for framing, along with some other very special blessed items that you can only get from yours truly. So you can enroll in the course there at the website, or you can reach out to me and talk to me about the course, and we'll see if it's right for you. There's also a place on the website where you can make an appointment to speak with me about your spiritual issues. Most importantly, brothers and sisters, trust me, I know times are tough. But if you notice the donate button and you're able to do so, click on it and send my ministry in a small donation. I promise you, it'll be appreciated from the bottom of our hearts. And trust me, we'll put it to good use. Okay, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Um, my two guests today, I love them both. I respect them both. I call them true friends. I've known them a long time, and you guys already all know them and love them, and that's why you tuned in today. So I'm so excited. I can't believe it's been as long as it's been since I've had them on the show. I just don't like to bug them very often because they're two of the busiest people on the planet. So without further ado, let me get them out here. World renowned, and, and one of them's going to say, "Who are you talking about? Us?" World renowned psychic medium channels, critically acclaimed authors, lecturers, radio, TV, and film personalities, and just two of the coolest people on the planet. I like to refer to them as the famous paranormal lovebirds. Please give a big warm paranormal ministry family welcome to the husband and wife team of Barry and Connie Strohm.
I thought you were talking about somebody else.
Yeah, I thought at the last minute you changed guests, Shawn.
I thought, damn, I'm on the wrong show.
I love you too. You know that, and that introduction. I think it's probably the same one I always say about you two, and it's from the heart. You know that. So,
Yes.
you both, Barry. You are one handsome gentleman. Connie, you're so pretty today, and I mean that too. I know you.
I didn't think priests were supposed to lie. What?
Well,
Sure.
little white lies are okay, and then I always confess afterwards and ask for forgiveness.
I'll look at it as an
Oh.
exaggeration. How's
No,
that?
he's just going with God says to be kind to each other. he's following God's rules.
What do I? I'll tell you what. When I have you two on, um, it makes my job so easy because as soon as I like Monday, I want to say, as soon as I start promoting, throw out the first promotional banner, and people see that you two are going to be the guests, I get all your fans and followers that are friends of mine on Facebook, and some not, start sending me private messages. So glad they're going to be on the show. It's been a while, yada, yada, yada. Hey, if you get a chance, can you ask them this? And I just jot the question down. So I've got probably 10 questions from fans and followers. So I just thought, hey, I don't even need to think of anything to talk to you guys. We'll just let the show follow its own course. But what I also know about you two is that you guys have a direct hotline to the other side. And I always like to just take a back seat, and whoever wants to come through and talk can talk. But I'm going to. Do you mind if I embarrass you two again?
Oh, go for it.
Be our guest.
Here we go. I do this every time too. You guys already know what's coming. But I want to show everybody this.
Yeah.
Let me get it right in there. It's a little bit of a glare, but I want to. Hopefully, everybody can see it good. Barry knows what it is, and Connie does because they sent it to me. This is a beautiful framed etching from. I'm going to turn around and look at the label here. I know it's from.
1557.
Boom. There's the.
See, we're psychic.
There's the plaque, beautiful frame. Look at that etching. Is that the most awesome thing you've ever seen? David and Goliath. You guys sent that to me as a gift when we first met a long time ago. I love this. It hangs right inside my front door. As soon as I get home, I see it. Right before I leave, and I turn around and I bless myself out of my font before I walk out the door, I see it. And I'll tell you, um, David and Goliath. I many times in what I do take a David and Goliath, a King David approach to things because sometimes it feels like you're up against something far worse than Goliath. And I, on more than one occasion, have called upon King David to help me in certain situations. So I'm just going to throw this out there right now. And I know you've channeled him before, but if for some reason he has a message for me or anybody else and he wants to come through, that's fine. And something else I'm going to throw at you guys too. Ta-da, we got our first American Pope. And I want to tell you a very interesting quick story, and then I'm going to shut up because the show's all about you guys today. Here's my next little story. When I was first asked to be the abbot, I always do of the Benedictine community that I'm a member of or connected to. My first answer is usually no, because I feel so totally unworthy of anything that the United States Old Catholic Church or the Old Catholic Benedictines of Immaculate Mary or the Society of St. Benedict have laid on me. I feel unworthy. So my first answer is usually no. And then my Archbishop, everybody knows who I'm talking about, Bishop Long, he's very persistent. He will hammer me a little bit in a very nice way. No, you need to do this. Think about it. I'll say, I'll pray on it. Even if I know the answer is a yes or a no, I always say, I'll pray on it. So I'm sitting there in my living room and I told Bishop Long, I will pray on it. I already knew the answer was going to be yes. But I hung up the phone and my TV is on and I just got done watching live Catholic Mass on EWTN. And this episode of a show called, I believe it's called Doctors of the Church, came on. It's little 30-minute episodes about great saints and great people in our church from back in the day. And I hadn't seen an episode in a long time. I thought I'd seen them all. This episode is coming on. I go, oh, I'll watch it. So here we go. The episode starts and it's about St. Leo the Great. And I hadn't seen that one. And it just so happens I went to St. Leo the Great Catholic School when I was growing up in New Jersey, Colts Neck, New Jersey. So it hit me like a bolt of lightning. Leo's telling me, knock it off, quit playing games, accept the position, get on with life. So I called the Archbishop back up and I accepted the position of abbot, and hopefully they're not regretting that. But and then we get this Pope who names himself Pope Leo the 14th. So there's a lot going on here, and I figured if anybody can fan their way through the psychic smoke here and maybe have something to say on both of those topics, have at it.
Okay. Uh, David is going to speak to you, as in
Uh
King
oh,
David.
I'm not in trouble, am I?
Shawn, this is a definite maybe. I've listened to you through the years, and sometimes I shake my head, and sometimes I just simply nod in affirmation of what you're saying. I've always tried to help protect you because, yes, you are the one trying to fight Goliath. We all know over here just how strong evil can be. But I think that you might take interest in what I'm about to tell you. Did you hear the words that Barry spoke to you earlier that Leo has reincarnated? Why do you think your Pope has taken the name? You now have your answer. So I just thought I might point that out to you. But I do want to thank you for what you have done in honoring and helping to advance our church. It needs all of the help that we can get in these modern times. There have been times that we have self inflicted wounds, and there are times that the wounds have been inflicted upon us. But there will be a time that the church will grow, and there will be a time that we will honor all of your actions, and there will be a time where we will celebrate your return. So thank you for all that you've done. We are truly appreciative of your efforts, and we thank you so much. How'd you like that little tidbit?
That was beautiful. That was
It,
beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Um, something else that I was thinking about way back in the day when I first met you two, you were doing these incredible, a lot of them were live at events that you guys would attend. A lot of these readings, back in the day, you used a spirit board, but it was
Mhm.
a custom made spirit board that you two were shown by spirit, holy spirits, how to make and construct. I still have those instructions you gave me because I was thinking about building a board.
Mhm.
I was on the fence, to be honest, because I'd had like a couple of bad experiences. I didn't know what I was doing early on in this ghost busting thing that I pretend I do. I had a couple of bad experiences with the Ouija board. So any type of board I was a little afraid of, but I had your instructions. I still have them, and I was going to make a board. At that time, I was doing what is commonly referred to as bibliomancy. I was getting messages, but I was concerned that, maybe these messages aren't right. I was praying that they were coming from divine intervention or divine channels. But I would back up these messages by going to, I collect Bibles. I've got, I don't know what my final count on Bibles is here, but I will randomly pick one and I will just kind of start, thinking about the messages that have been given to me, and I'll start kind of flipping the pages through. And then finally, something will make my hand stop flipping the pages through and open it all the way and just put my hand down and my finger on a message or a passage, if you will, and I'll look down and I'll read it. Sure enough, 99.999% of the time, the message is exactly, I can match the message I'm getting to what my finger is on this passage in the Bible. And if they don't match up and I'm confused, I'll pray on it. And even then, sometimes that passage will then eventually make sense to me and kind of have something to do with these messages I'm getting. So at the time I was doing that, what I thought I would ask you to is, you have any thoughts about bibliomancy, if you will, um, or these, a lot of people channel source, if you will, on a variety of different type of boards. Let's revisit the board thing, which you guys ended up harnessing and fine tuning your channeling to the point where you didn't need the board anymore and you've moved on from that. But I do know a lot of people that still dabble in the boards, different types of boards, and even bibliomancy. Any thoughts that you two may have on either one of those topics?
But the important thing when you're getting on the board is to say a prayer of protection, because there are spirits out there that want to lead you the wrong direction.
Yeah, when we started, the people that taught us the board had been doing it for a couple generations in their family. The first messages that we received was never ever ask for evil. Then the next message we got is they gave us that specific prayer of protection that we use all the time. And they actually told us to print it out and fasten it to the rear of the board. So if you look at our board, you'll see that prayer of protection is actually fastened to the back of it. And we're extremely well protected because of what we do. Obviously, your protection is only as deep as your faith. So we just the same as with your outstanding faith, you can be an exorcist and be protected. And we can use channeling in different situations because of our great faith. So it all comes down to faith. Faith is, your belief in God is your true protection. Once you believe in God, you can draw on the angels and all sorts of different spirits to help protect you. In the beginning, when I guess we were weaker, we did have spirits come in and pretend that they were something they weren't. We actually had spirits come in and try to pretend they were Jesus and talk to us. And in the beginning, we had spirits come in and lie to us, give us bad information, because that was evil coming through and trying to get us to give bad information to people so that we'd stop using, because they knew that it was just simply a stepping stone for us. And we had to master controlling spirits and having total faith in your protections. And the board was simply a tool for using it. So it's what you make it. You can use a handgun for protection, but if you turn it and pull a trigger on your head, you're going to kill yourself. So it's a tool, just like a wrench, anything. So a board is what you make of it. It can be the gateway to learning to communicate with the other side, or it can be a disaster if you don't know how to do it. That's why you see young people that have these terrible situations with Ouija boards, because they open the channel and evil comes through. They're not protecting themselves. They think it's a joke. They don't, they don't do what they need to do for their own self-protections. So it's what you make of it. It can be a great thing or it can be a terrible thing. And you could actually use a Ouija board and use it properly. We attended, it's probably over 10 years ago now, but we attended the 50th anniversary of the invention of the Ouija board. And there were people there that had huge collections of these things.
Oh, yeah.
And, they were good people. They had no problems with them. And there were people there that had speakers that had bad experiences with Ouija boards, because generally they didn't have the deep faith that we have, and they didn't really understand it. But in the beginning, the spirits, the guides, were as emphatic as they could ever be with their instructions. And we have been 100% to those instructions through the years. Now, we don't use it anymore, but I'm allowing these spirits basically to take over my body. So you can see the progression. Now I have such great faith that you just heard a spirit that was talking through me, and I don't even remember what he said because they have this total possession. The Wednesday morning, I was giving the message from Jesus, and I usually have my hands. And when Jesus was being very emphatic, Connie said I was pointing at the screen because he takes over my body when he does this. And it's, you got to have the total faith to let this happen to you. Because I've seen people have spirits take over their bodies that they had no clue what was coming on. And we basically had to get them out of it. But you've seen it as an exorcist. It's everything ties to your faith in God. If you don't have it, you best not try what we do. It's or what you do. It all comes to faith, Shawn. I mean,
Absolutely.
the deeper your faith, the better you're protected, and the more you can expect for the informational side. He tells us all the time that if you're an atheist, you don't pray to me, so you're on your own. You don't, you don't get the help,
Yeah.
and then that never works out. So that's what free will does. It's crazy, but I mean, it's taken us a long time to understand all this. But we're just simply participating in the miracle of God. It's just like I never charge for it because it's a gift of God. I have no right to charge for using a gift of God. It's a gift. I don't want him taking my gift away. I want to keep being able to do this.
Well, before I forget, I wanted to throw this in real quick because I know that she has a lot of fans and followers too that tune in for her. Um, Annette Munich, my co-host, she so wanted to meet with you guys and talk with you guys, and then she just terribly under the weather this morning, had to cancel being here today. But I wanted you both to know that I know she's very disappointed she wasn't able to be here. And so that means I'm going to have you guys back sooner than later after today so you guys can finally meet with her and get to chat with her. You know what's interesting about since I became an ordained priest, I haven't had to go out in the field and take authority over or assist in an exorcism physically out in the field. But what I've noticed has happened is the calls haven't stopped, the text messages haven't stopped, the emails haven't stopped. Um, I know somebody finally got a hold of me on the phone and said, I've left you an email on your website on this particular day and you never got back to me. And then when I tracked it down, I saw there was like a couple of hundred emails ahead of this person's. So when that happens, I start giving out my personal email more. But I realize now, all the people that I've helped just by talking with them now and telling them what they need to do to take care of a particular problem they may be having. I thought was God's intention, was because I lacked in that. I've never been a great preacher. I probably never will be a great preacher. And it's not my thing. I don't see myself, on a soapbox with a big sign that says,
Mhm.
repent now, hitting people with a Bible on a street
Actually,
corner.
I can see that.
That's funny. Sharon says the same thing. I can see you doing that. That may not be you, but I can see you doing that. So that was God's intention. I think it's coming. There will be a time where I have to go and do some of that. God forbid, But that's one interesting thing that I've realized has happened from that. Now, here's another thing I want to ask you. I had a really nice, long, in-depth conversation the other day with a friend of ours. I don't know if you know him or not. His name is Rick Garner. He's one of the founding members of Unexplained Cases, and we had this long conversation about portals. Now, this is a two-part question. One, I know that I just recently worked a case where a woman she was Hindu. She practices deity yoga, and during her yoga, um, she channels spirit. And her husband had reached out to me saying that she had gotten possessed by one of these spirits. Well, they're asking for that. It's part of their deity yoga. So I know you guys do this. Is that the only thing that you believe? I mean, this is a religious woman. She just happens to be Hindu, and I'm not too familiar with the Hindu faith. Although I've never met a Hindu I didn't like. Very peaceful, loving people. But so does it all come down to the faith and the protection? So when you're actually possessed by these spirits, and they're not just holy spirits that you've challenged aliens and other forms of spirit entities and source. Is it just come down to that, or do you believe there might be something else involved with you not having had such serious issues with allowing yourself to be taken over? And I guess the second part of the question would be portals. That's what me and Rick talked about. And I'm on the fence with portals. You had mentioned these people having issues with the Ouija boards opening a portal. So I just laid a lot on you there, but I guess talk about this
Mm.
channeling and actual possession in a good way, and how how that works,
Okay,
and then the
I can answer
portals.
your portal question for you. When we had the store in Pennsylvania, we had a portal in the basement, and I took my infrared camera and I put it on the wall where the portal was, and we could see the ghosts coming in and out through the wall.
Wow.
Now, all that is a place of interdimensional change. Okay. Heaven is just simply another dimension. It's all around us. We just can't see into it. But there's places where I'm going to say, for an example, I'm going to say where the wall is thinner. And that is a place where it's easier for the spirits to come in and out from these two different dimensions. Just like animals can see into the dimension because they have the vision that my camera had. So there are portals that are real. I've watched them in live time sitting at the store on my computer monitor because that camera was transferred on that portal. But all it was is a place of ease where the basically I think it's with the earthbound spirits at that time, but they would come in and out through that dimension, and we'd see apparitions once they would come in, and it'd be on this side of the portal. So yes, there are definitely portals, and I do truly believe that when you use a board or when you're channeling, you are opening a pathway for spirits to come in. Now, when the spirits are dealing with people with deep belief, like yourself or Connie or myself, there is basically no, sometimes I can actually see into that dimension because that wall becomes thinner as that wall's there to protect you. So as your faith grows stronger and stronger, that interdimensional transitional wall becomes thinner and thinner. So I can see into that. There's times where I'll be talking to a person, all of a sudden I'll see a spirit standing behind them. Well, I'm seeing through that multi-dimensional space into the dimension, not into heaven itself, but into the entrance to heaven. I guess is the best way to describe it. I mean, there's so much I don't understand. I mean, things take place around me all the time, and I'm going,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, hi. You know what? I mean, people are brought to me all the time because a family member has a message for them because they understand that they can talk to me and I'll give them that message. I mean, it happened Wednesday night. We had friends in for dinner. And all of a sudden, the woman's father's standing behind her. I mean, I started by describing the description of her father because I'm looking at the guy and I describe him before he gets a message. And she goes, "Oh my God, you described him before." And then he used terminology that only he used with her. I said, yeah, he's speaking to you through me. That's real. What can I say? It's just people that it's really hard to understand. I learn something every day, Shawn, every day of my life. But the one thing that I always know is that God's behind it. He's the sponsor of all this stuff. He sent Connie and I back together to do this. We've had 6 lifetimes together in different incarnations. He sent us back to do what we're doing. I mean, over the Easter holidays, we did some incredible channeling. I started the week of Palm Sunday, and I channeled spirits that were with him on Palm Sunday. And we did it live. Then we had the people that saw the crucifixion. We channeled, and they described it. I mean, heartbreaking. Then we had Mary Magdalene describe what it was like when she saw the tomb was empty and what she believed. And then we spoke to Mary, and she also told us that she was the first to see him after the resurrection. Then we did St. Paul. I mean, but for the whole week of Easter, all we did was dedicate our shows to telling the total story of Easter, the most incredible miracle that ever happened on earth. And they even talked to us about the shroud. So, I mean, when you do things like this, believe me, it changes your life and how you believe. So we're protected. That's all I can tell you.
I know that you're protected, and you know that you're protected. It's like many times I talk to people who they have a lot of spirit around them. Sharon and I are two of those people. We live in a haunted house, and we have to be careful. We have not only do we have to bless, cleanse, and smudge in many circumstances our home probably on a weekly basis, but we have to do that to ourselves too, because we've found, and many other people have found, sometimes the spirits don't even realize they're doing this, but when they latch onto you and they kind of hang around, they're sucking your energy, and they don't mean to do it. It just is something that I think happens. So you find these people starting to have a lot of health issues, and especially with you doing as much channeling as you do, and how much how in depth and thorough this channeling is that you do. You use the word possession. Um, have you found that to be the one flip side of that coin? That's the downside of that a little bit. And have you and Connie experienced unusual health issues that you probably can attribute to doing what it is you do?
Exhaustion. It takes so much. It takes a lot out of you. I mean, we do these shows. Our channeling history show runs for an hour, and it takes 45 questions of spirit to do a show, basically. So we write the questions before we start, and I never ever know what's coming. I mean, it may be the answers are what it's spirit's answering, and I'll generally, maybe I remember 10% of what we do during the show. I gotta go back and see the transcript to know what we said. But sometimes they will even take over my mannerisms, my voice. When we did Gandhi, I did the entire show with an Indian accent.
He didn't sound like Barry.
No, it's a total takeover. It really is. And it's tiring. I mean, I'm going to be 83 years old, so I'm not sure how much longer we can put up with this, but we're going to keep trying as long as we can, you know?
It's been a wonderful education. I refer to us as working on our PhD at the University of Heaven.
It's phenomenal. I mean,
I already can see the three of us are going to have a show together in heaven when we all meet up there later on, and we'll have some of the greatest conversations about what we will know then that we don't know now. I tell people all the time that reach out to me that, you know, I don't have all the answers. I'm not an expert. I don't have a magic wand to just wave and make your troubles go away. And I get some of the craziest looks because they almost think that you do have magic powers.
Oh yeah.
But it's once I can, and sometimes I can't do it, and I take that blame. I need to learn how to explain better to some people, but most of the time I'm able to convince these people, and convince is a bad word, but most of the time I'm able to make them realize that they are truly the ones that have the power to take their lives back. They just need to be willing to have faith and be willing to fight back no matter what it takes and keep fighting and never give up. And I'm just there basically to put my arm around them, draw a line in the sand with them, and help stand up against the paranormal gangster that they're facing. Um, and so that's it's been one of those things. But yeah, the channeling is that's the flip side of that coin that a lot of people don't realize how draining that can be.
Well, Shawn, the prophets through the years have been psychics. How do you think they got their information to tell the
Absolutely,
world?
absolutely.
I mean, the psychics are the holy people that have been sent back, and it's only through that special ability that they can communicate and get the messages of God to pass them on. So, I mean, there's people that are sent back. You're sent back. There's no doubt about it. Connie and I are sent back. We know a little more details because we spend half our life talking to spirits. But I mean, stop and think of all the spirits we've talked to through the years to make all these videos. I mean, the show we're going to put that we recorded for an hour today before we did your show. I mean, before we did the show, we talked with we have a segment from the Prophet Muhammad, from St. Peter, St. Matthew, and Judas on this show. So those are the 4 segments we did before we're talking to you. Now we've talked to Spirit for you tonight, and this is what we're supposed to be doing, is to help people understand just how close these Holy Spirits are to all of us. They come through and speak to you. Most people can't understand that they're being talked to. They in dreams they'll see them or whatever. Now we have very bizarre lives, Shawn. Very bizarre. It's the only way to describe it.
I'll tell you what. I I know not everything about you two, but enough about you. But I still feel like when I'm about to have you guys on the show, I stalk you a little bit and I go to some of the old websites, and I forgot how into spirit photography and fairy photography you were back in the day, and some of the awesome photos that you have displayed on your website. And I find that also. So, do you miss doing that at all? I mean, you owned a haunted antique store. You lived right down the street from Gettysburg and went there many times. Um, you basically have one foot in the spirit world and one foot on this side of the veil.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you miss that? Just going out and going on just your good old fashioned paranormal investigations and taking spirit photography and angel and fairy photography. And after you answer that question, let's talk about elementals.
Okay. Yes, I do miss some of it, but we've got so much going on. I mean, I'm writing 2 books at the same time right now. Because
What are we at? Where are we at right now? 15, 16?
no, well, we have
12 and 13.
we're at 12 and 13.
I was close.
Yeah,
Yes.
you were. Yeah. But anyway, what we did over Easter was so spectacular that it's going to be a separate book. I mean, that 6-week period of Palm Sunday through resurrection and meeting with the disciples. I mean, that's a book in itself. I mean, the information of that what takes place. Let me tell you, when you hear Mary describe the crucifixion, you will have tears in your eyes.
Oh, I'm going to skip that one. Even to this day, um, it's like I'll just give you an example. Sharon and I paid money. We never go out, but we actually paid money to go out and see The Passion on the big screen.
Hmm.
I'm also a big Mel Gibson fan. And when it got to that part, I actually had to leave, and I left Sharon there and came back and picked her up. And we will be watching. She loves anything that comes on like that. She loves to watch, and we we tune into. Lately, we've been going to Fox Nation a lot because Scorsese has this series out now
Yeah.
about the saints, and they have some other really wonderful religious based programming on Fox Nation. So we're there a lot. But whenever I watch anything, and sometimes I know it's coming, sometimes I don't know it's coming. I'm like, oh, they're going to cover this. She's gotten used to it. She'll give me the look, and I'll try to hang in there, but I can't do it. I can't watch
No.
the passion on any of these TV shows or documentaries or film. Just can't do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Part of this gift that God's given me, and I truly appreciate and understand the purity of the gift. But I'm now an empath as well. And I mean, sometimes the emotion is just, it's overwhelming for me. I mean,
Sometimes,
and from my background of construction, stone quarries, running businesses, believe me, I was not an empath in those days. So, but this is, I mean, it's totally changed me, changed my life, changed everything about us. I mean, everything we do now is simply trying to figure out how we can do better.
I love you. You had mentioned all the past lives that you and Connie have lived. I have colleagues that really do not go buy into the past life thing at all.
Yeah.
And then I have many other colleagues that do buy into it. I just when I think I'm on the fence about it, something will happen and I will really lean towards yes, it can, you can live a past life. I've seen some people have some incredible past life regression sessions with legitimate gifted hypnotherapists. Um, I let me say that I'll finish that topic with this. Anything's possible with God if for some
Oh,
reason,
yeah.
and we not only have free will here, maybe it continues on up, and maybe God, will say, I'd like to recycle you. I knew he would probably say it that way, but I'd like to recycle you again. You have unfinished business and things I want you to do. I'm going to send you back down.
That's
Maybe
right.
you have a choice to say,
That's exactly the way it works.
well, there you go.
I mean,
Maybe you can you bargain and say, no, it's so beautiful here. I love it here. I don't want to
let me,
go.
quick story. We do a lot of shows on suicide. So I wanted to talk to Robin Williams, and it was like 6 months after he'd taken his own life. Well, I asked the guides, and she said, no, he doesn't want to come on your show. Okay, I can accept that. My little show. Why would the guy with worldwide fame like that want to come on? So about a couple months later, we're doing another segment, and I'm going to have a couple of people that committed suicide. I said, Laura, do you think you could get him to come on? She said, yes, he's agreed to come on. So before the show, we're talking to him, and I'm channeling with him and talking back and forth. And I said, how come you changed your mind? And he said, well, when the big guy comes to you and asks you to do something, you do it over here. Jesus had come to him and
I
told
thought
him,
you were going to tell me he caught you catching an old episode of Mork and Mindy.
no, no. But no, and since then, he's been with us probably 6, 8 times on different shows. And he talks about it. And he explains the psychology of why he did it and why it was so terrible. And the fact that he had to watch all the grief that he caused before he could come fully into the entrance of heaven. Angels came to him, said, buddy, you got to watch, look at how many people you've caused grief by what you've done. So no, he's very straightforward. But that was, as you say, when God asks you to do something, you're in heaven. Say, yeah, I think I'll go down and do that for him. Why not? But
I know I mentioned elementals, and it's only because of the Irish boy in me.
Mhm.
I have gone on record to say I think that I have elemental activity on my land here, and I do believe in
Sure.
the elementals. Um, Do you chat? Do you channel those much, or is that a different kind of feel? And they're
It's a
in
different kind of energy. Now we have, believe it or not, we've channeled animals down to the souls down to the size of hamsters.
wow.
So all animals have souls too. I mean, but no, we've channeled a lot of things, a lot of aliens lately.
This is the first thing, I can never remember not having an animal. I since as far back as I can remember, I always had a dog,
Hmm.
and I was always the one in the family that ended up being the one closest to them and taking care of them. But this is the first time in my life that Sharon and I, or me and us, haven't had animals here. Last two mastiffs we that went to heaven. I just am still struggling with the pain over that,
Oh yeah,
and
it's
I've
terrible.
decided I can't. Right now, I'm not ready. Although Sharon's still, she's the office manager over 20 years now at the same animal hospital. Now everybody's when the last one we had, and we moved in here with three mastiffs. They went to heaven. Then we got two more right away. Then eventually they went to heaven. Everybody's been reaching out to her trying to give her a free puppy or a rescue dog or this or that, and I can't even watch animal commercials on TV because it's like half of me feels really bad. I just don't go down. I can't go and visit the pound. There's no way. I have to take
Yeah,
a truck and come back with like 10 of them because you just can't. I can't see how anybody can go in to adopt a dog or a cat and end up with just one. So while I'm struggling with all this, here's God again. He lays 9 outdoor cats on me, figuring that'll keep me busy enough, and it
yeah.
has.
Oh, attractive.
I can't get a dog now because I know there's going to be an issue. Unless I get Bill Murray over here to talk about cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria, and he tries to, calm that down. So I'm struggling with that right now. But the elemental has always been an interesting thing for me. And before we run out of time here, almost 10, I got you for about another 6 minutes, let's say. Real quick, um, tell everybody they can catch where and when they can catch all your shows, and what's the best way they can go and look and purchase your books and things of that nature and reach out to you.
Okay, well, the easiest way for people to see our entire body of work is simply to go to YouTube. The channel's in my name, Barry Strohm. As I say, we got over 820 videos. You can even go back and see our paranormal investigations we did at the Antique Gallery 12,
Oh, cool.
15 years ago.
Wow.
We have great voice box sessions where we talk to ghosts. You can actually see that. My websites are barrystrom.com or spiritspredict.com. And on Spirits Predict, you can see a lot of our ghost photos that we took through the years. The Confederate soldiers, Union soldiers, or elementals, fairies, angels. I mean, God showed me everything in the beginning because he had to teach me.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I I was shown things that people just simply don't see. And I took pictures of it when they were showing it to me. And it's on our websites. But that's the easiest place really to see the whole body of work. We do 4 shows a week. We do our channeling history show on Sunday nights, and that's on ParaX Radio Network. And then we put it up on YouTube, and we put it over on all the other audio channels. We use Podbean to put it on all the different platforms. So you can hear us on Alexa, Google Podcasts. We're 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 most of the places that you are. It's kind of the way it all works now when you're doing podcasts.
Absolutely.
But all the books are on Amazon, just like yours are, and they're all on the website. If you want signed editions, that's you got to come to the websites. Hopefully, within the next 6 months, we're going to have 2 more books up. So
Good for you. Good for you.
we'll see.
Well, I'll finish with this. We got about 5 minutes. Um, I'm thinking of the Vatican now having classes teaching seminarians and new priests how to deal with first contact. I'm also thinking about a gentleman that I interviewed a long time ago in Canada who's an abductee. And he told me that when he was abducted, the first thing the aliens asked him was, "Have you seen God yet?" And I know you have channeled alien intelligence. Is this going to be, are they going to be in the same heaven as us, or do they have a completely, I believe God created it all.
Absolutely, they have
You're
the same.
correct.
They have the same soul energies we have. They're, Shawn, where do you think your soul was before humans walked the earth?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you. God created you at creation. Our energies have been around. We've all been on other planets before humans were here. They're sending us back trying to help humans now. But Shawn, we've served God on many other planets, or we would not be in the upper realms of heaven, where where we all are, and we would not be sent back if we did not deserve to be in those realms. You could not have worked your way up in those realms of heaven without having served him on other planets. So I can channel. I mean, I've channeled a bunch of aliens now. I've seen a real alien. I've talked with the soul. I was a Confederate soldier in the Civil War. I have talked physically with the soldiers I fought with in that prior life. So I mean, all of the things, they're all God's miracles. But he knows better than any of us what's taking place. He knows what he wants us to do in our lives. Whether we do it or not is free will. Connie and I have chosen, just as you have chosen, to serve him. So this is our retirement.
I'm not so sure I chose. I think he chose for me.
Well, you had to
Well, it's his
agree.
idea to start with.
No, I'm the kind of person that I'm a lover, not a fighter, and especially with when it comes to God, I can just kind of tell when he's got something planned, and I just go along for the ride. There's no sense in, you know.
I have a lot of military prior lives that I know about. I probably know 10 of my prior lives.
We're gonna have to one day do that. I'll tell you something else. I would love if you guys were ever on this ever in my town. And who wants to come here? I don't even go down into town. I'm on the outskirts, but I've wanted to always get somebody with really your type of channeling ability to go out to Rachel, Nevada, which is a little deserted ghost town, if you will, across the street from Area 51. And there's a little uh, uh, B&B, if you will, slash bar there called the Little Alien.
Mm-hmm.
And there's rumored one of the trailers in the back is haunted by an alien ghost who was kept held against its will at Area 51. I'd like to go there with you if that was maybe even, I don't know, who knows, it may happen, but have someone with your channeling ability channel this alien spirit there, and if he needs,
I don't have to go there to channel him, Shawn.
well, there you go. He needs some help. This alien was already held in his three-dimensional life form against his will at Area 51. Now, if it is truly a reality that the spirit of this alien is at the little alien, he needs to be given help to release and get out of there.
Uh, we're told that all of the Roswell aliens were killed in the accident. There were 6 of them, so they do have the bodies of them. But as soon as an alien dies, just like us, the soul goes into heaven. So I mean,
And like many disembodied human spirits that get stuck here, they can too.
yes, for a while, the angels will come to them eventually and take them into heaven. So I mean, you can stay for a while. A lot of souls, because they led crappy lives, are afraid to go. so
Yeah.
they stay earthbound. I mean, that's why you see evil spirits. A lot of them they've had evil lives, and they're afraid to go up and get judged. So they think they can put it off. But actually, the angels are pretty good cops. They'll drag them up there eventually.
Well, you two elite paranormal lovebirds that I love and respect so much, it's the time I got to kick you out of here.
Story of my life.
Thank you for having us, Shawn.
I wasn't kidding. Barry, last time I saw you, uh, you were recovering from a severe illness. I have
COVID.
to tell you, man, you look wonderful today. And Connie, you look so pretty. You guys, whatever your guys' secret is, I hope Sharon and I can hold on to that too. And
Well, you're of Irish background, right?
yes.
Irish whiskey.
Oh my gosh, I have people still send me gifts like rare bottles of Irish whiskey, Scotch
Ooh,
whiskey, and I have it all up on my bar. And I stopped drinking, I don't know, 15 years ago, I want to say, maybe 10 years ago. I don't even remember. It's been that long. But oh my gosh, I just look at that and
you're a
ask God to
man of
give me
willpower.
strength.
I am a man of weakness when it comes to Irish whiskey.
Maybe I know now what to send you for a gift to give you something back for this beautiful David and Goliath etching you sent me. But listen, I love you both. I respect you both. I pray for you both all the time. Thank you for being here. We'll be in touch. I'll have you back. I know you guys are getting some personal things settled right now. I won't bug you for a little bit, but I'll keep an eye on you, and I'll have you guys back as soon as I can. Okay?
Well,
We don't consider you bugging us, Shawn.
yeah,
We're always delighted to get together with you.
we're always available when you want us. Just let us know.
I love you both. You guys have a great remainder to your Friday evening and your weekend, and I'll be in touch.
Love
Okay.
you, Shawn. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Shawn.
See you later,
Bye.
guys. Barry and Connie Strohm. Oh gosh, I love them. What do I want to tell you guys? I will be here next live show. Keep Annette in your prayers. Hopefully she feels better soon. Oh, psychic medium Rick Hayes. That's going to be a great show. Next Friday, May 16th. That's going to be a great show. Don't miss that one. Um, what do I want to say to you guys? I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in because trust me, I know, and you guys know, that I don't have a show without each and every one of you. God bless UPRN, United Public Radio Network, for carrying my show. Joe Montaldo, Michelle DeRoche, for making that happen. God bless the two of them. Um, Having a great time doing this. Like I said, keeping that in your prayers. Um, Guys, let's start trying to spread the love. God's God is just really working overtime to have us all spread the love. Why hate? Why be angry? Be happy. It takes far less energy to smile and be nice to someone than to be a you know what, an a hole. So don't do it. God forgive me for the language, but yeah, let's start trying to spread the love. Okay, you guys know how to reach me. Ghost-b-gone.biz, or I'm on Facebook a lot under Lawrence Maurice, which is a stage name I had to take. On that note, guys, remember, we may have done what the devil said we did, but we are not who the devil says we are. Don't go anywhere because coming up next is Spirit Switchboard with Carrie Lynn Shellhorn. That's a great show. So don't go anywhere. We're just getting started on this Friday of high strangeness here on UPRN 107.7 FM New Orleans and 105.3 FM on the Gulf. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. I love you all. God bless you all in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Peace.